Hey, Carp Anglers! James Sanders here from Team Fish Fighters and Bottom Feeder Baits.
And Daniel Irish here from Team Fish Fighters from USA CARP and Bottom Feeder Baits. I was looking at the sign and everything.
It's like hypnotized.
Right, you almost got me.
Oh my gosh! So that's a good podcast yesterday with one of my teammates, Paul Metz, and his wife.
Yeah.
His wife. Yeah. But that's pretty good. A lot of history. Great family, great family.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys ever check that out, go to their YouTube page, USA CARP Guide.
Yep.
They're each week. Kenny Mack and Daniel Irish. They always do I want to say contribute to their wives. How the other wives lives, and I think it's kind of pretty cool. I think you guys are doing pretty cool. Just get the other wife's side, Some of it's funny. I'm like, oh man, you could be a little juicier than that. I know.
Yeah. We're trying to get them, to open up a little bit more. Yeah. But yesterday it just seemed, Paul, he really does everything he can to make sure that his wife has a great life, and making sure that she's not annoyed with what he does, right. And making sure everything's okay. And I really got that feeling that nothing really bothers her too much, and he makes sure of that. So
she should have. Remember the Dong Show? The Dong Show. Dong, like celebrities getting on this one game show in the 70s.
Okay.
The Dong Show, and or something. And when some man. Oh, you should have like some kind of like big old Chinese drum or something, like bell or something. And if one of the wives said something wrong, no, ding,
and just hit it,
hit it really hard, and it's like no, you could get a little juicier than that. Spit it out.
We need a juicier answer than that,
or the buzzer or whatever. But real quick, I do want to throw a couple of things out there real quick. Fishing Expo for 2026, January 30th. 31st and through February 1st. It's the premier fishing show over in Massachusetts.
The New England Fishing Expo. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Did I say that wrong?
Well, it's like there's like so many. It's like the Fishing Expo 2026 up here, and then there's the New England Fishing Expo,
maybe that's
and then it's in Massachusetts.
Okay,
yeah. There's so many. There's so much information to get out there. Yeah.
So that is coming within probably a month and a half. You guys. If you guys ever, especially people up north, if you guys ever wanted to go to the show, we actually got a good carp line row of anglers that's going to try to promote carp fishing. Now, it is an all species event, but we're actually trying to get our foot in the door, to actually, hey, we're carp anglers. We're here to stay. It's like, let's put our names out there, So
so like it's really important, even if you don't plan on buying anything, if you can come on out and just be a head that walks down Carp Row, and somebody that checks it out, and tell somebody, hey, I liked what those carp guys are doing over there. We can make it bigger because this is our first year, and the eyes that we get this year determine how big we can go next year, and we'd like to double our size every year if we can. So
and also we got another one right after that, another Carp Expo just right after that one, February 17th, if I'm not mistaken. It's here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Vendors, $50 to get in. I mean, we almost got all these booths just about filled up. I mean, it's coming really, really close. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a really, really big show. Free food, free drinks.
I'm excited.
Anglers from all different parts of the states, again, coming to this one event. And this is just a Carp Expo, period. I have thought about doing something like maybe a catfish and carp thing together. Since they're both bottom feeders, why not? But I don't know. We talked about a lot of people like the idea, and some people don't like the idea. So, but it is. But I think they both kind of work almost in the same type of category, except for the catfish likes more meat,
Yeah, we could ask about, we could ask everybody this year when we're doing it. So,
but
let's
go get. Oh, we got a good guest today on our show. His name Clifford Honeycutt. Wow. He's from North Carolina. He's got this great product right here.
Yeah, really cool product.
Really cool product.
In it.
And they're almost like boilies, just about on a hook. It's called Carp Nuts. You want to check that out? And he's going to be here. Came to our show. He wants to talk about his product and him as an angler of all these type of product. And I think he's got more than just that product too. He sells on his show, on his line. But this product is really, really cool.
Yeah, this is very cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's kind of like a little bit of a hard, almost a hard. I don't want to say too much.
Right.
This is because this is Mr. Honeycutt's show. So
yeah, let's go ahead and bring him on.
Yeah. There he is. Got you.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, great. Well, how you doing?
Doing good.
Good. You know, this is what I've been doing. I've been stalking, which I do a lot of stalking on a lot of people, anglers' Facebook page, especially when they're getting ready to come on our show. You got a great product, Carp Nuts. But
thank you.
Besides that, you're a man of God.
Yes, sir. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior.
You know,
yes, sir.
Awesome.
This is the first time I'm going to be do this on the show. You want to give out a little prayer real quick?
Absolutely, dude. Thank you.
Are you welcome?
Dear Heavenly Father, I absolutely thank you for this opportunity to give you praise and the honor to be able to represent you upon all of our fishing. Lord, you know that in Carp Nuts, our motto is Matthew 4:19, where you said, Jesus, follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men. Jesus, we thank you for every man and every woman that steps foot on the banks, that represents what we do in our passions and the love that we have for fishing. God, you came to the fishermen first. So, Lord, I thank you for everyone that sees this podcast. And if they don't know you, I ask that they message us or come to us to ask to get to know you. Lord, I thank you for everything, for these fish, for my people, for my brothers. God, I give you praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, brother.
There you go. So, great product. Looking over this stuff, Carp Nuts.
Yeah.
But besides, before we go to the Carp Nuts, what would we tell for some of the anglers that don't know you? Why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself, how long you've been carp fishing, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I have been in the North Carolina Pay Lake circuit. I'm 42, and I've done it since I was probably 8 years old. My dad started taking me to the Pay Lakes. I fished for a long time, but I actually took a hiatus. You see some of these trophies in the background. We raced for a little while. We took a break.
Okay.
I was pretty successful in my early carp fishing just because of the time, and back then they didn't have all these flavors and all these different things. You were limited in your selections of things 15 years ago, and so I was pretty good. Wasn't as good as some of the people that's actually helped me. Give them a little shout out, like Jeff Jr., Chris Cottle. Some of them guys are like the real heavy Pay Lakers here in North Carolina. I mean, Jeff Jr. himself, he was like ranked top 4 in the world, I believe.
Yeah.
And so I've had a good surrounding of good people that helped me learn how to really zone into carp fishing in Pay Lakes. And like I said, I took a hiatus for a little while. Came back actually about a year and a half, 2 years ago now.
Okay.
And last year was dipping my feet back into Big Daddy's 1 here, which is like locally here. I actually kind of wanted to do the Euro style because no one does it. And I know that if you get onto something in the Pay Lake circuit, it's kind of like a gatekeeping society,
Yeah.
So I knew that if I could work it, I would be able to try and figure out something that no one's doing, or at least I thought, in my opinion, because I know people gatekeep, obviously, so somebody could be doing this.
Right.
So I actually started messaging some people that had big bait companies like Nash Bait in Europe, and Matt Collins, who does coaching and owns a big venue in Europe, and actually France, sorry.
Okay.
But so I actually got to know some of these people, and like Clark Adams with Hunter's Bait Services in UK. These people are really, really friendly over there. They're not gatekeepers. Like, they will teach you what you want to know. I mean, my bait formulas, like, I literally want to say thanks to Clark Adams, because, dude, I struggled. Like, making boilies and hook baits and pop-ups, this stuff's not easy. Like, it's not just like, just a corn puff with some flavoring, go. This is an actual supplemental flavor or food with flavoring for the carp. It's not just like a dead pickup. What I was used to doing with the pay laking. And what really got me onto the boilie stuff was I fished so much pay lakes. Some of these pay lakes here, like Pops, man, they've been here since the 60s.
Yeah.
They've got tenure. And, man, some of them brim in there, they 10-inch brim. Yeah. And they've been there. They've been there for a long time. And I got tired of getting the corn pops knocked off. And I started trying using boilies, but I couldn't get the fish to take. So I decided to make something that wouldn't come off.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if it would just put flavor and it would leak out, I know it would work. And I saw the German rig online, and it's basically like a German rig. It's got the extra swivel at the bottom.
Right.
And literally you just slide it onto any size pay lake or wild water carp fishing hook, put your bait stop behind it. I make sure that it's dead in line with the hook point. And it absolutely works. And at first in the pay laking, I was taught that peanuts catch elephants. So I started off with the number size 8, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I was catching, but I wasn't really producing the 20s yet. And then I was just praying. I was like, God, these people across seas, I see them throwing double 14s, double 20s, and I'm like, they catch 50s and 60s and 70s over there.
Right.
We're catching 30s, and we're like, we're doing something. So I was like, I'm going to go bigger. So I went bigger. And this one right here was actually at Big Daddy's 2. Yeah. We had that last Friday tournament. I sit down in the middle lake telling myself, I'm going to catch a big buffalo. I'm not moving. I got 117 or 112.7, and 6 hours rolled by, nothing else. The wind had blown into my back. I am a kind of like a methodical fisherman. I don't just throw my bait in the water. Is barometric pressure, wind, temperature, time of day. All these things have a factor in fish. That these are smart creatures. They're not dumb fish.
They are not.
And so wind had been at my back all day. I stood up on my tailgate in the middle of the pay lake and was looking up from the middle lake to the top lake, and I saw nobody had been in the corner all day. Wind had been blowing to that corner all day, and I was like, you know what, Lord? I told myself I was going to sit here and I was going to catch a buffalo. I was like, but sometimes I'm just stubborn. I think it's time to move. If I don't catch a fish, Lord, and then by the time I get that last rod in, I'm gone. So I started one, the next, the other, nothing happened. Packed my stuff up, went to the corner. I put this 14 millimeter in one of my favorite dips and slung it out to the drain pipe in the corner. And I put it right on the pipe. And I got my second rod in, my third rod in, and bam, that one 14 mil ran. It was the 20.5. And I was like, wow. All right. So, and then I filled up. It was a 3-fish day. So I filled up my roster and then was knocking off weight. And I had been stuck in one hole for 6 hours.
Wow. Yeah, that's nuts. How they can just turn on sometimes, especially as soon as you find them. I do want to go back to this carp nut. I would like you, like James was saying, we were going to describe it a little bit earlier, but since you created it, I would like you to really tell the audience about this bait. And I do like how you say the German rig is how to go, because that. As soon as I picked it up, I see it. It's like, okay, I want to put this right on my hook shank, and then I'm going to put my little hook bead on. So if you could, for the audience, just give a little description.
I'll give you a breakdown of it. Yeah, most definitely. So basically, all of our products are 100% biodegradable.
Okay.
And non-toxic. They are made from what's called PLA. It's polylytic acid. That is a combination of cornstarch, sugar cane, sugar beets, and kvass, and it's all plant-based.
Okay.
So it will never make them sick. It won't hang up in their digestive tract. The only thing that could ever happen would be something that would happen in a normal situation, where if you broke your main line and you hang a hook, the hook and the screw is the only thing that will rust and fall off.
Right.
So other than that, it's safe for the fish, and it breaks down. That was my main concern, because, like being a Christian, Jesus literally told us to take dominion over the birds, the sea, of the air, and all the fish, all the animals. So I don't want to make something that's going to cause harm.
Right.
So that was my most important thing, was my hook baits, all my boilies, all of our pop-ups.
Yeah.
They're all 100% so they're 100% soluble. They're 100% safe. Food grade additives. All of our flavorings, all of our top line competitor, like you've got your Wicked, you've got your Carp Slayer, you've got Joe Lutz and all his lines. We have every single person in their category for flavoring. So everything that we do here is safe. And for the use of these, I really think that this is something for the pay lakers that is the biggest game changer. Because in wild water, you tend to lay your bait for hours at a time, unless fish are actively feeding, right?
Right.
You don't rebait by the rod, you rebait by a spawn or a stick, right? So in the pay laking, they won't let us use a spawn, they won't let us use sticks. We have to rebait by the rod.
Right.
So with that being, if I wanted to leave a rod for 8 hours, I was too nervous. It's going to come off. A carp could just run into your line, knock your puffs off.
Yeah.
So that's the situation in the pay lake that I hated. And with this as a German rig, there was something else I had figured out. So in the pay lake, when you put your corn puffs on, they're solid and they're dry, right? Or if they have been soaked in flavor, they still dry out somewhat. So when you put these on, you're actually closing the hook gap, right? Yeah. So when you throw out in pay lake and you start getting line flag movement, and it's bumping and it's bumping and it's bumping until that hook point and that gap gets open enough for something to grab,
right,
you're not going to catch a fish. I wanted to stop that and give a more of a chance for that carp to not have any obstruction between the point and the shank.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So when you run the German rig, right, and you position it in such a manner when you're packing your bait or you're running it on PBA, when you hook in, that your hook point is no longer have any obstruction. So and when that carp directly inhales, he's normally going to hook himself if you're sharp. That's a big thing on harp.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I like how you're you're in the pay lake, but you're using the German rig. Like you said, you're looking at the Euro guys. You're seeing what's out there. Like you're saying, about the gatekeeping. If there's any little edge, if there's any little thing different that I can show these carp, usually they're gonna slam it, and usually, once you get on it, everybody else is gonna want to follow. So. I really like this. I'm strictly wild water myself, but I love what these look like. I definitely think that I could, like you're saying, soak these in a couple different baits.
Yeah.
My only question is, you do say that they're soluble and things like that. How long does it take until they do fully break down to where, you can't use them anymore?
That's a good question.
So I haven't had them break down yet.
Okay, cool.
The only time I had one break was USPS.
Okay.
So I will be. There is one thing. So like we test everything vigorously and try to break it.
Yeah.
Right. So we started off with 8 mil, 10 mil, 12 mil, and 14 mil. I believe you guys got 10. What do you have?
I think
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We have 2 different sizes.
So
yeah.
We have 10, 8s, and 12s, and
these are 10s
we will be, so we will be discontinuing the 8, just because after I have noticed with the 8, the only one that I have had any kind of issue is the glow filament that we use, which is still 100% biodegradable and safe.
Mm-hmm.
It after about 2 trips, I noticed that it could crack in half. So I don't want to let anything go that a pay laker or a wild water person isn't going to get a good bit of use out of.
Yeah. And I was just asking, for my personal use because I do fish a good bit of Dale Hollow. So
Yep.
I'm leaving my rods out, 8, 10, 12, sometimes, 16, 18 hours at a time.
Well, you're good.
Okay,
They will
so
not.
yeah,
These,
I want to be
these
confident.
reusable refillables, they will not break down in that amount at a time.
Okay, cool.
I would have to leave them and submerge them for a couple months before they would break down
Awesome.
like that. Yeah, my main purpose was I made them thick enough that they last, but I had to use a material because I know certain people that I'm trying to get in with all these flavor companies to promote this themselves and help sell the product to all the pay lakers.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that they knew that, a lot of them own lakes, so I wanted to make sure that their fish were safe.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love that. And, like I said, being a wild water person myself, that's, the number one thing is our fish care. And this really looks like a product that, you've taken the time to find that fine line of what is the best product that I can bring to somebody and also what is the safest product that I can have for the fish. I really, really appreciate that. That is very, very cool.
So I'm looking at your product here, and you look like a boiler. They like you say, it's a rush, a German rig. You got 2 hose on both sides, and it also looks like I want to say like cotton or something like that.
Yeah, it's 100% cotton.
Okay.
Because again, I couldn't use any synthetics or anything because of chemical leach or anything like that.
Now you guys saw on the side of the package of the Carp Nuts, you got this little small baggie. Is that like plugs?
So
or
those
something?
are bait stops.
Okay, bait stops.
So every package comes 6 in a pack because obviously at the pay lakes we went to 5 rods sometimes, and I wanted to give someone an extra one.
Okay.
So yeah, I know I started off and it was 2 rods, and some lakes were 3. And then when it went to 4, I was like, wow. And then when I came back 2 years ago, it was up to 5, and I was like, well, I need a bait rod too, so that means I have to have 6 now. That was fun explaining to the wife. Oh, and big shout out to the wife too. She's not here. She has wrangling the Carp Nuts. She is a big help in here. She's the printing help. She's the formula help. Like, she's
awesome.
in it to win it with me. So it's not just me here.
That's cool. That's really good to see. I'm glad that.
It's a true mom and pop business.
Sweet. That's awesome. Really.
We have Corey Hill in the chat. He says he'd like to see him in pink. Are there any plans?
So actually, I got you a surprise.
Oh, okay.
So my favorite fish to target is it's not registered as a carp. It's more of a freshwater drum, but the buffalo.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, your large and smallmouth buffalo. Me and Shane Porter actually had our personal record at Mike and D's Carp Pond. It was a 67, and it's kind of a 67-pound buffalo. So I got to do a lot of studying, a lot of wild water. I actually have a lot of friends that catch buffalo and Santee Cooper, and watery, and they have been on to something about some flavors. Especially there's a guy out in Texas that does a lot of wild water guys, and I think his name's
Austin Anderson.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Shout out Austin Anderson.
Shout out to him because he's a very intelligent dude and he knows what he's doing.
Very smart.
Yeah. So pink specifically for buffalo. So we're going to have these in 10 and 12 and 14.
Okay.
And so those are specifically for our buffalo line. And just like we have released recently a new flavor that Carp Slayer has let go called Buff Slayer.
Okay.
And it's something that I help with them to work with because I target these fish. So I have over the years. Some people have gave me some information. I helped critiqued it, and I love catching huge buffalo. So
they're fun. They're fun.
Yes, they are. They fight.
Yeah, they do. Also, how many bait shops do you have your product in?
So right now we are in Big Daddy's. That was shout out to Scotty Cruz. He took a chance on me and let us be the first kind of European style market in a pay lake shop. And then I just got the okay for South Davison Carp Lake through Terry Clark and John Granger. Shout out to you guys too. Thank you for that. That's a big step for us in these big pay lakes. You know, those two lakes right there are world renowned. You know, those two markets there, and then Highway 49 Sporting Goods carries our product. And then we actually have started a secondary line. It's kind of cool. Earlier you said something about bringing catfish to the market with the expo.
Yes, sir.
Because we have a catfish line that's called Mudline.
Nice.
And so we actually have a flavor that's by a catfish pay lake that's called Goldie's, and it's by Ussery's Catfish Pond.
Mm-hmm.
And it's by Proline. So it's actually goldfish smell. Can you believe that?
Wow.
it is actually a goldfish smell.
You know.
So,
go ahead.
So we have a refillable pickup for catfish as well, and it's actually the shimmer of a goldfish, and it's the largest size we carry in 24 mil.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
So we're selling a combo together as a catfish pickup with the Ussery's Pay Lake one and only Goldies. And we're excited. So, you know, Carp Nuts and Mudline, we're making things happen.
That's cool. That's awesome.
For anglers that are out there, if you guys like this product, you know, please, you know, try to get a hold of them. But also on top of that, if you know any bait shops out there that might take this type of product, tag them in this group chat, or podcast, sorry. And tell them what they think, because
find me on Facebook. We all operate right now through Facebook, just because that was where we could afford to start. We are developing a website ourselves, so it's kind of taking us a little time because we don't have the finances to drop a big website right away like some people. So we are slowly growing as we go, you know, so to speak. But we're blessed. I mean, you guys, all of our fishermen, thank you. You know, like you guys are what has made this grow to where it's at, and the ability to be here. I did not think we would explode the way we did.
Nice.
The refillables, they are what is the hot commodity, and they work. You know, so thank you guys.
We have in the chat Corey Hill. He's saying, "Bring a box to Adams Outdoors Bait and Tackle. I'll grab some ASAP."
Awesome.
We have Colin Davies tagging Dave Outdoorsman. Dave Outdoorsman, he's over there with Ben's Tackle Shack,
Massachusetts.
They've
awesome. Thank you guys.
Throwing up all kinds of stuff. You know, they got Carp Slayer in there. They got Bottom Feeder Baits in there.
Awesome.
Who else? They got all kinds of people in there. But yeah, it'd be cool to
Bottom Feeder Baits.
Yeah, it'd be cool to help you. You know, get into some places. Because I like this. I'm really excited to try this. This is going to be one of my things that I experiment with down there in Dale Hollow. You know, Kitty Mac's gonna.
So, do you guys? What kind of line indicators do you guys run? Do you run? I know you wild water guys. You run your bite alarms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but do you still run a line flag, or do you still run anything else besides that?
So I use like the Euro style bobbins. Like the chain bobbins. Some people use swing arms. Some people, you know, especially if we're fishing off the houseboat, we don't really use anything. Now we upgraded to the Siren R4s, so now we do have the boat mode, so we can use bobbins again.
Nice.
So shout out Kenny Mac.
I actually like those. We have actually tried to create and do something like that too. Mm-hmm. So years ago, when we were first paylaking, we would use corks and hang corks that had affixed tops. Right? They still sell them in paylakes to this day.
They do.
That was kind of what that and styrofoam on the end, and then shout out to Mud Pigs also. Their line flags are amazing. I actually use them myself through my company, and all of our pre-ties for our pop-up rigs and stuff. They're made by Mud Pigs. So thank you, Thomas. And also, but back to the story. So, everybody's used something along the lines of these, right? This is one of my dear friends had made this for me.
Nice.
And these are the only corks, Mitchell Love, that made these that I'll run. I actually had a bad paylaking incident 15 years ago. I was fishing short off the bank, and I had a massive just smash and go hit. Hit so hard that the cork jerked, the eye of the fixed part of the cork shot into the eye, locked the line, popped the line. So I was done with these. I mean, I was like, man, I can't do that again.
Right.
So, whenever it comes to heavy, windy days at the Pay Lake, you're either dipping your rod tips in the water or you're slack lining with the foam dropped right at the edge of the water, trying to see if you can still get a bite indicator.
Right.
Right. So we actually developed a line cork.
Okay, yeah, I see those on your rods back there.
Yeah, so they actually stay affixed to your rod. You can cast a blue country mile with these. And they have just enough weight that when you slack and your bait's out in the water, this will drop and act the same as a bobbin, as a bite indicator, as a cork. It acts the very same. And this way, so for me in pay laking, time is the biggest factor in getting paid. If you're on the fish, if you've got the pickup working, if your bait's getting bit, the longer you're out of the water, the less chance you have of producing a payout, right? So to me, I want to have my rod in the water until the last second. I don't like taking off corks. I don't like pulling off line flags. I don't like pauses in between. Like this year, switching over to PVA, I actually cut down my bait time by like 5-6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can pre-make all my balls. I literally was blowing out my pickups because I'll show you, I don't even run pups anymore in the Pay Lake. I run strictly Carp Nuts rigs.
Nice.
Whether it be the cereal brand that we run.
Okay.
This is a hard hook bait that we call a cereal. Okay. And it don't come off, as you can tell. I've got a 12 mil on the other.
I can see that.
I've got 14s and 8 mix. I got different size mix, just to throw it up and give them something different to pick at. But I hated that in between. Walking there, having to stop, do something else. I knew that my time of the rod in the water was getting greater and greater.
Right.
So with these, you're not doing that anymore. You're just straight from back to the rod, throwing another rod, setting the rod down, dropping slack, and you're done. And that was a big thing for us. And then, a lot of people that still run corn puffs, I was always having to go to Food Lion and getting either the plastic peel-apart cups or extra zippy bag, right? So I was always dusting my corn puffs in flavor, shaking them in a bag, and trying to flavor them all. So we actually came up with this. This is a corn puff and a boilie shaker. It's a 3-part deal. So you put your puffs or your boilies in here, drop your flavor in on them.
I was looking at
back on now. These are right-hand threads, so that it's opposite of what we do here in America. But they take them, all your flavor runs that back down to the bottom, and then dump out, and then you can either rinse out or put more in and shake again.
Nice.
And then we also have what's going to be called a duster, and the duster is going to be basically the same thing. It's just going to be a little bit bigger in design, and you'll be able to put your soybeans or your grits now from your shaker to now your duster, shake them and coat them with your coating like you do a lot of your pop-up rigs and your hard baits. So that's a feature that a lot of pay lakers don't do and know. So that's another option for the pay lakers now. You don't have to go buy bags. You don't have to buy a bunch of Tupperware stuff that wears out. You got something that you can stick in your box.
Yeah.
You can shake it up wet. You don't have to now rinse it out. You got a dry version to shake it up. Now you throw them in a bag or throw them on your tailgate, let them sit. Now you can either hook your pups or run your baits, screws, or however you fish, and cut that time down.
Yeah, it looks like, you could also, we were talking about PVA and PVA mesh.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looks like you could put your tiger nuts and your corn right in there, and then, put your salt in, and then you can make them PVA friendly there in that container.
That's something you said is salt. So that is, a lot of people don't realize that, guys, you're coming into PVA. This stuff is soluble, water soluble.
Oh, yeah.
So anytime that you add any kind of liquid, it has to have a chemical change before it melts.
Yep.
And that is going to be your salt, your sugar, in even syrups, your corn syrups will do it too. And then also glycerin. Glycerin will also keep it from melting. And actually a lot of your flavorings are glycerin based.
Right.
So your flavoring, you can actually wet and dip your ball in your flavoring that is glycerin base and just sling your PVA with plain bait with just a dip flavor, just like you would in plain.
Yeah.
One of my teammates, Paul Metz, matter of fact, he was on their show yesterday. He said send him some product. He'll do a video on it, and then he'll send me the flash drive, and we'll put it together. To talk more about your product and try to get the word out more about your product.
Awesome. Yeah. Tell him to track me down, if you don't mind. Track me down through Facebook. That's the best way to get a hold of me.
There you go, Paul.
And then we'll link up and we'll get you some stuff, and we'll be glad to work with you.
Yeah, we'll put a video together for you.
Corey Hill says, my daughter said orange, yellow, and pink, please. She also says hi. Yeah, that's I think these would be perfect.
Little girl.
If you could, this, I love the high vis yellow. This colored yellow just pops perfect.
They're called imitation
and
torn.
orange like this.
Now the other thing too, of course, you got two holes.
So there is one.
Oh,
I actually forgot to mention. So this one we actually launched about a month ago, and it with everything that we got going on, we're operating two businesses. We kind of stay stretched in for time, and so we're running nonstop back and forth, shipping, packaging, everything. So our one commodity that we got out that was still another refillable. It was the glow in the dark.
Okay.
So the glow in the dark, I'm going to charge it up for you real quick. This one at night at Pay Lake.
Yeah.
15 years ago, the crappie community came out with the glow in the dark crappie bead.
Yeah.
We used them at the Pay Lakes, and I'm gonna tell you, boy, we put some money in our pocket, and we were getting bait checked. I mean, they just couldn't figure it out. And what we were doing was basically just holding the flashlight in our hand, charging it up, and people thought we was crazy. But when that does that under the water,
can you turn the lights out? Can you turn the lights out?
Yeah.
I just want to see what it looks like.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like kryptonite.
Yeah.
Kryptonite.
It looks a lot stronger than any glow in the dark corn I've seen.
Yeah. So these, if you charge them for 30 minutes in sunlight or UV light, it will glow for 8 hours.
Wow.
Ooh, okay, that's overnight.
That is overnight.
And 100% biodegradable and non-toxic.
Wow.
Because it's the same glow in the dark material pigment that's used in the bass fishing lures.
Okay.
So we caught a cool one with this one, but this, I'm gonna tell you right now, the glow in the dark is nuts for nighttime fishing. Take some crab oil.
Okay.
And dip this in crab oil.
Oh.
And I'm telling you, they can't resist it.
Yeah.
Now, you in the wild water, you will smoke some big catfish just because big dominant catfish, a big blue, a big flat come in, carp ain't going to stand a chance.
Wow.
The catfish is going to take this. It smells, he feeds it and it smells like a crab. So, but in the Pay Lake, it's deadly. Deadly.
Yeah, you've really got me wanting to take some of those glow in the darks down to Del Hollow and see what they'll do.
So actually, it's cool you're talking about Del Hollow. So I just learned about Del Hollow like about two years ago. I've got a wild water buddy, Harley Watson. Shout out to him. He's one heck of a wild water fisherman.
Okay, gotcha.
He actually does a lot of private sailing to the Pay Lakes around here, and he goes to Del Hollow, and that man caught some monsters there.
Monsters
so
there.
Carp Nuts is going to do a wild water adventure. So maybe we can team up and go out and share some styles and have a kind of a little nut adventure.
Yeah, I was just saying, let me know when you're down there. I'll be down there pretty much all spring and all fall.
Yeah, I'm looking to get campers flats. So, that's supposedly the number one place to go to.
Yeah.
That's where I need to go. But I'm more of a strategic man too. I'm not afraid to take my sonar and my boat and go, check out structures and depending on where we're at, because like you study those Euro guys, they fish dinghies. They shoot to areas where they see fish. They don't stay local and draw. That they fish different. So I'm willing at Del Hollow to do some of that.
Oh my
gosh. I have to ask, because you did just say, you just now found out about Dale Hollow. Do you know about USA CARP Guide? Do you know about us?
So, I actually just heard about y'all a couple months ago.
Okay, yeah, I was just saying, if you are looking for somewhere to go, we can help you out. If you're looking for a full-on trip, we can help you out. Whatever you're looking to do.
And actually, I've got some private spots. I've got some private spots in our local waters here that absolutely have some monsters and it's public land.
Wow. So
I'd love to give you the coordinates to some of these for you to be able to go do some local exploring here.
Yeah, I would love for you to. I'm sad that he's not here today, because I know he'd love you. Kenny Mack, if he were here.
Who? Who's Kenny? What?
That was a good one. But yeah, he would. I think you guys should have a conversation, because you're right up his alley. A man that loves the Lord, and a man that loves to carp fish, and somebody that's trying to help other people out. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we could do in the future, and even if it's just us doing a session one day, if that's all it is, then let's do it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to see what these Carp Nuts do down there. I want to go put on a rig and go fish tomorrow.
I know, right? So, okay, you got the 2 holes, you got your cotton in the middle and all that stuff. Now, what is the best way to, do you put the flavor directly in the hole, or do you just dip it only?
I do either. So I'm a fan of some of the dropper style. In the Pay Lakes, we have like the mini dropper hots, the mini oils, right?
Okay.
So I love doing those, because it's just a straight put the glass tip in and squeeze. But a lot of my other Pay Lake flavors, you have to put your own in your own dropper. So I'm a quick fisherman. So I have on your biggers, I literally open the top of the bottle. I drop it in, close my thumb, and turn.
Okay.
I mean, it's the quickest way to do it. And then the biggest thing is when you're fishing this, it does automatically wind when it has a wind when it's coming in. So you can catch a lot of crappie and bass. It just happens because of some of the colors, but it cleans itself on the rewind. Just make sure you blow it out, blow the excess water out before you dip. Because it's going to, once, it's drawing through the water column on the way back in, it's going to absorb the water.
Yeah.
So just blow it out, re-dip, knock off the excess, whether you pack bait in a Pay Lake, or whether you're PDA, or whether you're just slinging it out on a German-style rig in the Euro and putting spot mix over it.
Now, you brought up another point. So, wouldn't that same old flavor might be still inside the container?
So that's what I'm saying. When you're winding it in, when you pull them, when you first fish with them, when you pull them back in, you'll notice that it's cleaned itself.
Okay.
Right. And when you blow through it, it pushes everything out. Now, if you do sense a little bit, we always keep a water jug with us for washing hands and stuff. I have sometimes, like some of your oil bases, right? They're a little thicker. I have had washed them out some. Right. Because I wanted to change, because at the Pay Lake, a drop of a hat, red chocolate or grape might be the next hour.
Right.
You don't know.
So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it really is.
Because each lake, even in the Pay Lake world, every lake's got their own. Sometimes it's got their own flavors too. That's hardcore. But there's a lot of lakes that just changes just like that too. A lot. So
absolutely.
Wow, man.
Yeah, like I said, I want to go put this on a rig and get out here tomorrow.
I know, right? Yeah, it's simple. You don't have to keep.
Wait till you see the snowman rig.
Okay. Okay.
It's
so that brings me to another question.
Yeah, I seen. I'm sorry, I'm not even interrupt you. I did see you had your snowman rig. I did see that one. I seen some videos of cool details where the flavor just starts when it's in the water. Just looks like it just brings out a beautiful cloud.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of awesome ingredients. I mean, I highly approve.
Film
This is
something new.
100%.
This is kind of taking someone else's idea.
Yeah.
So I know you guys will be familiar with this one, but the stick mix, fizzing stick mixes, right?
Oh man.
All right. So our next idea is we've actually found out how they do this. So our next idea is going to be a fizzing
No, you did not.
stick mix pop up Carp Nut.
All right. Yeah. You got me
Yeah.
sold.
So we're working around the clock to try and be innovative and come up with new techniques and to help people really produce fish, you know, because like especially in the pay laking side, because you know the community with the wild water, you guys are loving, open, and help everyone.
Yeah, that's
You
why
know,
I
like
love it.
the gatekeepers and the good people that are die hard, put money in their pocket people, they ain't gonna talk unless you're their relative or a best friend. And sometimes they won't even tell you. Yeah. So, you know, I want to give people the best opportunity in the Pay Lake side to give them something unique that gives them a chance. You have more ample opportunity to be productive and be like those guys.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like
because
it.
with us, we mainly Pay Lake a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this year I've made it a point to do the this coming spring we're going to start doing the wild water tournaments with Carp Nuts.
Cool.
You know, so because you know I love wild water fishing, but I've never done the tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'll be the only wild inbred Pay Laking part Euro guy on that circuit, but I will be giving it my best.
You know, like we had a conversation earlier today. I mean, there's so many Pay Lakers that actually goes wild.
Yeah.
Gilbert. I mean, I'm not sure if you maybe know them or not. Gilbert Hugsley, Rick Slinker, Kenny Mack. I mean, there's so many. Paul Metz. Yeah, Paul Metz. A lot of Pay Lakers actually decided to go wild. Heck, I remember a time Gilbert Hugsley. You know Gilbert Hugsley?
No, sir.
Okay. We call him the Godfather here in Indiana of carp fishing. But Gilbert Hugsley, he'd had a magazine article he wrote, and it was called "Pay Lakers Gone Wild." You know, and it was
nice.
Like he took
I like that.
Yeah, you know, he took a Pay Laker and that he was pretty good friends with, and he went took him wild carp fishing, and then he was just hooked. You know, he loved it. He couldn't get enough more of it. Just being out in the nature part, you know what I mean, and just appreciate what life's all about. But
it's serene out there, man.
Yeah,
it really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
so I would like to know, you know, these are bottom baits, correct? So these are.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any plans to make any pop-up style? I'm just asking, just for my personal. I love pop-ups.
We are. But so the Pay Laking, there is a real fine line on floating baits, right?
Okay.
So with that fine line, I have pop-ups, but the rule that I tell all my customers that fish specifically Pay Lakes, I send in our cups. I don't have any of my pop-ups here, but this is a wafter. Okay. So this is our orange butternut.
Ooh.
20 mil, right?
Okay.
Now this is specifically designed for winter because citric acid cuts through the water column when oil bases don't. You know, so I wanted something that was going to go through when fish get suspended in different water levels for them to say, "Oh, what's that?" and then come because it makes them fun. Right? So a lot of people don't know that in Pay Laking that some of these oil-based flavors, they stay on the bottom. These fish ain't coming down to sit on a cold bottom until they hungry. You know, so you have to entice them.
Right.
You know, so these wafters and pop-ups. But that being said, Pay Lakers back in the day would throw certain style baits and put no weights on, float their hooks up. It would be birdseed and marshmallows, you know, and it would float their hooks up and they would feed off the surface. Wow. Everybody on the bottom didn't know what they were doing and they were just dominating Pay Lake. Wow. So they made rules, no floating bait, right? So that included your hooks. Right, and your line and sinker and everything in that. So with that, I had a lot of Pay Laking owners being like, you know, does it float? And I'm like, well, you know, your corn puffs float. You know, I had to do a video where I took my pop-ups and I took corn puffs and I dropped them at the same time and showed they all float. It's just a matter of how long it floats, right? So when I showed them that, I wanted to give them a guarantee that, if you run my baits and you're running my bait screws and you don't have a weight on your hook, on your main line that connects to your swivel, you can get kicked out. If they said that's deemed floating bait, it don't have a hook, a weight to hold it down, so that it only pops up the same height as a corn puff would, it's not floating bait.
Right.
But if you run a 20 size pop up on a 4 mil hook,
right,
that mug can pick up everything, including the swivel, all the way to the weight. And then you take a chance at a suspended fish finning hook. That's not a traditionally hooked fish in pay laking, so it don't count. That's cheating. So I wanted people to be fair and square, because I don't like to be, I don't like cheating. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Paul Metz, he's asking, do you have a 6-stack? Which is a little joke, but I want to kind of piggyback on that. You were talking about the Snowman. So do you have a plan to, release a Snowman with 2 double?
Yes. So it's not soon, but like I said, we're gathering. We have a slow ability to make these products right now. We are getting a larger capacity to make more at once.
Okay.
So when like I said earlier, we didn't realize that we were going to sell out this way with our these. So it's like I post, it's gone.
Yeah.
So if you've noticed, I started posting 17 cups of this, 17 cups of that, because I don't want people to say, hey, I want this, I want this, I want this, and then everybody's bought it out. Right. So I post, hey, I've got 20 batches of this, 20 batches of this, 20 batches of this, take your order, first come, first serve. And once we get our printing capability, brand scheme and grow as we go thing, we'll be able to do a lot more of what we got planned. So everybody's so productively predominant on these right now. The refillables is like tying up our ability to get the R&D, because I've only printed a couple of our Snowmans. And at first it was 2 independents on a hair rig, because I'm thinking I may sell them as a packet of you know how you get your Yodos and all your other hair rig combos on Amazon, right? You get 6 to 8 hooks in a pack with everything there. I'm kind of going to do the same thing. And I was teetering between a 12 and a 14 or a 16 and a 24, 2 independents locked in place. But then I was worried about movement, the finickiness of carp. So then I was thinking more of a solid Snowman, with a single attachment like the German. Right. So we haven't decided which way we're going. So we are still in the R&D in that area.
Okay. Yeah. I'm very, very interested. Yeah. I can see this as something that I actually pick up and use in my everyday fishing. For real. I could see this being something that I drive Kenny Mac absolutely insane with on the boat. Every time I bring one in, it's going to be Carp Nut. Carp Nut.
So how much does
these things work so well? Yeah. I'm actually going. So I'm taking my dad crappie fishing this weekend. You guys are going to get a kick out of this. Yeah. Okay. So my dad thinks this is so hilarious that we're catching carp on little plastic balls, and so I'm taking him carp or crappie fishing, and I've actually made some. For our Mudline product, the Catfish series, I've made some in crappie size pickups.
Okay.
So, one of my customers, Dylan, shout out to Dylan, he caught a monster slab crappie on our Galaxy, reeling in at a pay lake, and I was like, I think I could make that work. So I told my dad, I said, I'll tell you what, I'll make a bet. I'm gonna go use our product and catch a crappie on this. So I'm going to go take that Ussery's Goldie flavoring, and I'm going to take the crappie size pickup, and I'm going crappie fishing this weekend.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, good luck, man. Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
How much does one of these bags cost?
So they're only $8, and it includes everything you need. Yeah. It comes with 6 in a pack, and it comes with the bait stops.
I think that's a good deal.
$8, and you include the bait stops? Yeah, that's
that's like a great deal. That's
it's like a killer deal.
That is a damn good
Yeah, it really is.
say.
We wanted to be budget friendly because on the pay laking side, it is getting ridiculous on what it costs.
It really is.
You know, so where I can save money and reuse,
right,
and do, I'm doing. I'm doing it because I have 4 kids and a dog. You know, so I have a special needs child. My wife is disabled. You know, so we got to do what we can to make sure, especially in this economy today. Like everybody's kind of
crazy out there.
You know.
Yeah,
it's wild.
From a wild water standpoint, you know, if I were to want to make this rig, I would have to buy the stops separately. I would have to buy the screw separately because they wouldn't sell the screw and the carp nut together, and then I would have to buy the carp nut separately as well. So you have an all-in-one package. This is, you know,
you would actually have to make the carp nut. And we would have to actually make it, and we have filed for a patent on these.
Awesome.
So because there actually no one has anything like this in the world. Technically, there is one other person that has created something like this, and they do have a pop-up version. Shout out to that. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. No pun intended. But there is a Europe guy that on Big Carp Tackle you can find it, and their stuff's pretty cool. It's not the same as ours. It's kind of completely different. They running on a rotting rig and a blowback rig, and I thought about using that style, but it's not my forte. I like how this performs. I like how the fluid action works. So you know, you could try your best to make this, but it would be tough for you.
Right.
Yeah. This is going to look really, really nice. I think not only does it look nice, it looks cool. Like it's something that I want to use. Like I really, really, really want to use this.
How many other colors can you come up with doing this?
So we have the imitation corn yellow. We have the fluorescent orange. We have we are reloading in the Galaxy, which is what I call that 20 off in the 14 mil at Big Daddy's. That's like a midnight reflective blue. I use it when I use chow, kind of. And then we have pink. That's just now the pink pearl. That's the imitation for the buffalo. It's supposed to look like a clam on the inside of a clam. Is what it's supposed to represent. And then we are getting red Galaxy because we've been doing a lot of studying and some European stuff. And some of those older bait manufacturers figured out that the color red actually stands out to carp. Their eye cones can pick up and sense red.
Real dark.
So so we picked up and we own that, and we are making some Galaxy reflective pearly red, and we have it work. So the way it works is we'll come onto a color, we'll print a mass selection of that color, it gets bought, we'll reload into a different color, and then print a mass section, and then when people start overwhelming for another color, we'll reload, and we try to keep up with demands. It's just kind of it's sobering how hard it is to keep up with what people's demands are right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I need them. Yeah. I need about 2 packs in every color, I think.
I love the glow in the dark one.
Yeah, I do too.
That's going to look awesome down Dale Hollow floor.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that red that he's talking about, during the springtime when those crawfish really have their bright colors, they're going to be on that red, man. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, let's try to do something. Let's try to get a big girl on a carp nut this year.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
so we actually are.
Yeah.
At Carp Nuts, we are running a contest all the way through the end of this month. Now, I know this is winter fishing, and it's tight and it's slow this time of year. But anyone that uses our product, we're giving a giveaway. So what we're doing it on is a big fish contest, and it's picture with whichever product that you use and the biggest fish. With just a picture of your weight and the picture of the fish and the product, and whoever's got the biggest fish, we're going to give $100 giveaway.
Oh wow!
And it's going to be a box giveaway, because that's something else that we're going to start doing. Some of the pay laking guys that are wanting to get into wild water, we're going to start doing boxes, kits, so to speak, that helps you transition to learn the different rigs and styles of wild water fishing.
Awesome. That we were, we've been talking about on our other show, the USA CARP Guide show, about doing, something just like that. So, I'm hoping maybe we could collab, and
yeah, I would love to
help get some more kits in people's hands. Show them how to
people need to know how much better it is out in wild water.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's Dave Outdoorsman. He says, reach out to me so we can talk some business. Now that is somebody that you want to talk to right there. Dave will. He talks fast and he talks a lot, but he means what he says. And he has a great heart. So I'll go ahead. I'll send your profile over to Dave.
Thank you, sir.
That's a good one.
So I'll do that right now.
God bless y'all. Thank you.
Of course. And for the people that do want to find your product, that do want to know more about you, where can they find those things?
Right now, we are 100% solely located on Facebook. And you can find us if you just put the @ symbol in the search bar in Facebook and put @Carp Nuts, it'll pull us up.
Nice.
Or you can search any of the, when you search Big Daddy, South Davison, we have been tagged so much in catching the fish at those lakes, it'll pull us up when you search for those lakes now. So those are also, those lakes are carrying our products. So those are the places that you'll be able to pick us up. But Facebook is the fastest, and direct message to the Carp Nuts page itself is the fastest way, because my wife and I both moderate the Carp Nuts page, and we try to make sure that we get to you within 30 minutes of a message. So that way is the quickest. Because if you try to message me, if you've got my phone number or if you've got my personal page, I also work another business during the day, so it's hard for me to be at 40 foot on a ladder sometimes and break off. But my wife, she's 24/7 here with the Carp Nuts and helping everything continue the process of growing. So she'll get to you right away, or I will get to you right away as soon as I'm available.
Awesome, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing your full line. I'm gonna go. When I get home tomorrow, I'm going to look through your line, see what I want to do.
Great stuff.
I'm going to send an invoice to USA CARP Guide probably, and we'll get some of your baits out this spring. Like I said, I would love to catch a big girl on one of these things. I just love how they look. I love how they work. I love the German rig already. So having this to add to my arsenal is just right up my alley already. So I love this. I love your product. Thank you for coming on. We are coming to the end of our show. Is there any closing statements, any last things that you would like to say to
or
people
shout
out
outs
there? Or shout outs.
So first and foremost, shout out to Jesus Christ, who is my Lord and Savior.
Amen.
God, the world's in a lot of chaos right now.
Yes, it is.
And we're all looking for something. A lot of us that go to these lakes and rivers and ponds, we seek for peace.
Yes, sir.
Guys, Jesus is the King of Peace. He is the Prince of Peace, and He is the King of Kings. He's God in flesh. And you'll never find true peace until you come to Jesus Christ.
There you go. That's what.
And that's a hard subject for a lot of people, because a lot of people have been done wrong by the church.
Yeah.
And on behalf of Jesus Christ, there are men out here like us that are willing to come and talk to you about Christ. That'll teach you how to change your life. Man. Guys, I had a hard life before, and when I turned my life fully to Christ, he exemplified my business, my family, my wife, my children, gave me an actual business that's my pleasure with Carp Nuts that helps me lead people to Christ and to be in the passion in the hearts of men. And I just want to say that, if you could ever need to talk about Jesus, come to one of us. Don't be afraid. And if you ever need help or advice in paylaking, come to me. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm a bait keeper, not a gatekeeper.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah, I love your whole message. I love your attitude. I love your personality.
Don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, like I said, Donald Barrow, you gave me a big shout out.
Yep.
Thank you for trusting me to shoot you something out of nowhere at a charity event, and you were spirit led and God led to just go with it, and you have automatically helped us. I mean, big shout out to the Pay Lake owners of Scotty Cruz and John Granger and Terry Clark, and I just want to say thank you to you guys. It's hard to get in some of these places, because they are privately owned family businesses, and they are hard-working, established people, and it's hard to let someone in you don't know that could cause a chink in your chain.
Right.
And, so thank you to you guys. Thank you to the flavoring companies who gave me a chance to use a product that I know works.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to selectively pick one or the other. Each one of you top manufacturings that are behind me,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah.
Because you guys, you're God-manly yourself. I've seen it, and I thank God for each one of y'all. And I thank you for a product that I don't have to go and develop something to make my stuff work. So thank you guys. And then, to all the Pay Lakers and all the wild waters out there, tight lines, guys. Fishing's awesome, and it's a gift.
Yes, it is.
It really is a gift from God.
Yep.
So enjoy every minute you get, because this life is a vapor, and it can be gone in blow of a wind.
Yes, sir.
So make sure that you know who God is and Jesus Christ.
There you go.
Love your neighbor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. I think we'll be having a lot of conversations in the future. I really appreciate you. I really like you as a person, man. I really do.
Thank you, dude. I think you guys are really cool. I'm really appreciative for you. I kind of try and stay humble, and I kind of see myself as like a nobody. And not in an insultive way. Just I don't exalt myself. I refuse to puff up, and I feel very honored to be put on your guys' show. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, my family, my wife. We all thank you.
Pleasure is ours.
Yeah, I can't wait to have you on in a year from now to see what new products.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Wouldn't it be? Wow.
Yeah. Well,
cool.
Thank you very much for coming on. Thank you very much for your time. We greatly, appreciate it. Thank you for sending in the sample so that we can have a hands-on demo in the show.
Yes.
I'm going to steal a couple of these and see if I can catch a fish on them in these next couple of weeks.
And you're I'm not going to be mad at you if you want to send us some more.
Right.
I'm not going to be mad.
Yeah, most definitely. I will have to send out some of my test stuff to you guys, because you guys got a lot of different waters you cover, and I love being able to put my stuff in different places that I haven't been to see what it does there. I'd be more than glad to help you guys out because you guys are real good promoters. So I
appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well,
definitely get a hold of David from Outdoorsman.
Yes, I sent Dave Outdoorsman your profile. He might be sending you a message. He might be calling your phone right now, knowing him. So, thank you very much.
Thanks,
have a great rest of your night. Everybody is interested, Carp Nuts might be blowing up. He might have a bunch of messages to answer. So.
God bless you.
Have a great night. God bless you.
God bless you too, guys.
Man. That's one of those shows where I'm like, man, it's only an hour. We don't have 2.5, 3 hours to talk about this.
Wow. Guys, if you guys are excited about that, get excited. That was a great show.
Yeah. Paula Davies is in here. We got Corey Hill.
See my goosebumps?
We got... I'm very excited to use this product.
Man.
Like I was saying, I'm a user of the German rig already, so this is just going to be something that... I throw in some of my favorite flavor, my mulberries, my crabs.
You know what we do with this pack? We'll split it in half. How's that?
There you go. Yeah.
We got just 2 apiece.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That'll work.
Test it out.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I do want to say thank you to our sponsors, Carp Angler, Big Money Beepers, Team Fish Fighters, Carpy Commando, USA Carp Guide, Carp Anglers Group, and, of course, up there, Bottom Feeder Baits. Shout out Bottom Feeder Baits. If you are close to a bait shop and want to get some Bottom Feeder Baits in your hands or your friend's hands, some easy place that you can go pick it up instead of having to ship it straight to your house and people think that, you're buying stuff you shouldn't be. Let us get it into your bait shop.
It is Christmas time. Makes a good stocking stuffer.
Yeah, great stocking stuffer. Colin says he's English, can't use the German rig. Yeah, you're missing out then. That's all I gotta say is you're missing out then. I thought that pack was mine. Nuh-uh, Paul. Nope. I don't even get the full thing. It's half and half over here.
All
right, we're gonna end the show before we get people start rioting for our 1 pack of carp nuts that we got. If you want them, go to his Facebook and buy them yourself.
Yes.
Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks for watching.